So I'm going to go in with MAC's Prep and Prime, and I'm going to do it after I did my eyeshadow. That way it kind of sets the eyeshadow in. I know this isn't a setting spray, but it's still great and it keeps everything together. Next, I'm going to go in with the Guerlain. It's a light diffusing perfecting primer, and I love this stuff so much. I'm just going to take a pump of it. I usually put it onto my fingers, that way I don't waste any. But I usually just do one full pump, not even. This stuff smells so good. Next, I'm going to take the Time Balm Face Primer, and this stuff is really good. It's a smoothing primer. And I'm just going to put that on my T-zone, onto my cheeks right here. This is just going to really smooth out your foundation, as well as make it a flawless application. I'm just going to bring it down onto my neck. Alright, so now we're continuing on. So I'm going to be taking the Carol Baker Mineral Matte Cream to Powder Makeup with the SPF of 15, and this is in the color Chiffon. I'm just going to put some onto the back of my hand. I love this texture. It's kind of like a mousse, but it's just really nice. I love it. I'm going to be taking just a flat foundation brush. I usually don't take these, but for some reason now I've been loving them. It's really easy to get that shape that you want with your eye. And since we already taped it before, it's really easy to just carve it out. I'm then going over it with my buffing brush. I usually don't do 2 brushes, but it's just going to make it go in nicely to your skin. I love it. It's just a really nice consistency. Sits really nice on your skin. If you have dry skin though, like me, you want to make sure you put moisturizer and or primer on before you do this. Just going to do the same on the other side. This brush is the Cover FX Custom Blending Brush, and I'm loving it. You want to make sure it's all blended out, and we're good. So next I'm going to go in with concealer. I just found this in my little bin. I had a bin of stuff that I didn't sort yet, but this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles and Neutralizer. I keep the neutralizer one for my tanned days when I'm a fake tan. And I'm just going to put that under my eyes. I'm going to use my same buffer brush. I'm just going to buff that out on my T-zone, and I'm going to use my fingers to blend it in. I usually do my under eye last because I find for this stuff, if you let it sit for a while, it really soaks in to your skin. And it's just like buffing out the edges. And then I'm taking my 3rd or 4th finger and just blending that in. So next, I'm going to be setting that with powder. I'm going to be using the H&M Translucent High Def Setting Powder, and I'm actually loving this. I'm just going to be using this e.l.f. powder brush. I like just tapping it off in the lid. This stuff is really powdery. There's a lot of fallout, but it works very well. I'm just really loving this right now. It's just really nice. So next we are going to be taking the contour shades. I am going to be using the Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D. I'm going to be using the first color. So it's this color right here, the more gray color, because I am obviously pale, so I'm going to be using that color and this mirror. I'm just using this Expert Face brush by Real Techniques. So we're just going to blend that up into your temples. This is a really nice brush. It's supposed to be for foundation, I believe, but I like using it for contouring. We are going to be taking the lighter shade in that, and I'm going to be using the yellow one, not the pink one. I'm just taking the e.l.f. blush brush and using it under my eyes. This just gives it a really natural highlight, even though I already set my under eye. Really helps blend that stuff out. I am then taking the lighter color here, and I'm going to be shaping out that contour underneath it. with that color. There we go. Next, I'm moving on to blush. So I'm going to be using this blush brush, the Morphe M105 for my blush. And I'm just taking this Amazon palette in 02, and I'm going to choose my color. I am going to be using this middle color mixed with this kind of brownie color. And I'm just tapping off the excess. This palette from Amazon, I don't even know where it's from. It's not even a company, it's just a no-name. It is so good. It has so much pigment. It was only, I think it was $10, that's it. But it's just so pretty. I'm then going to be taking that same buffer brush that I used for my powder, and I'm just buffing that out. I am going to be using the Becca Champagne Pop that was made by Jaclyn Hill, and I'm going to, it's the Stila contour brush or whatever, but I'm just going to be using the big side of it, tapping it off into the thing. I don't want to waste the product, and just highlighting right there. This brush is super good because it's the dual fiber, and it's just so dense that it packs it on. I love this so much. I'm going to be taking this flat brush, putting it into my Becca Cosmetics, and then just highlighting my brow. I was going to use my concealer, but it's going to wreck the whole look. So that way it highlights it a bit more. I'm so glad I bought 2 of these when it came out. Hey, I'm back. My camera died, so I kind of did a little clean up, and now we are back. So I don't really remember where I left off, so I'm going to be doing my lips now. So I was torn in between these 2 colors. I had Velvet Teddy. They're very similar. We'll swatch them. There was Velvet Teddy there, or we could do this. Oh, they're literally so similar. They're so similar. This high gloss lip color from Urban Decay. But they look like that. I'm trying to see like what I should do. You know what? I think I'm gonna do Velvet Teddy. I'm gonna do Velvet Teddy. So I'm gonna line it first with MAC Whirl. This is just a really pretty color. It's really dark though, so you have to be careful with it. I'm gonna fill that in too. So once it's all filled in, we can just put our color on top of it. And one more thing, I forgot to set it. So I'm using the Urban Decay Chilled Setting Spray. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay beautiful.